Hey everybody, welcome to crypto trading and investing. Yeah, where we're going to come for the information that we need to trade these volatile markets. And obviously, your host, the overlord of crypto trading and investing, or something like that. I don't know, maybe I'm not. But anyway, let's get serious. Today, I'm sharing multiple screens. Like I said plenty of times before, I typically don't use any indicators or anything like that, other than the volume indicator. That's kind of like a default thing to do. But more recently, I've been experimenting with some of these moving averages. And for the people in the group, they know what they are. Uh, that's for them. But here we go. Multiple ways that we can earn in the cryptocurrency market. And I'm actually about to incorporate that into my Discord. So it's going to be more than just a trading group, and it's more than an investing group. It's more than just the typical thing out there. We are talking about trading. So whether you want to do day trade, intraday trading, scalping, whether you want to do swing trades, no matter what you want to do within those trading things, uh, you have a home for that. And we're going to talk about that. I've been going more toward day trading and intraday trading, as well as swing trades, to accommodate some of the new people in there. Although I love to scalp, I try to talk about day trading and more of those things for the people in the group, because some people can't scalp, some people can't use high leverage. There are some people that just are not going to be able to do that, and so I'm going to show multiple ways that you can trade, and then you develop your own. Me personally, like I said, I would shy away from using indicators or even moving averages. But the reason why I would use these moving averages here are to make sure that I have the ability to then teach people to use these as well. And then they can decide to use them on their own. So, yeah, let's get into this. Come on, let's get some more high energy in here. If you guys like the content, like, subscribe, and whatnot. The Discord, you can reach me if you want to join that. It's a trading, investing. It's a group. It's a family. We help each other out in there. So if somebody knows the answer to something, they go ahead and answer it. You can definitely have a discussion. Like I said, we're going to talk about trading. We're going to talk about the swing trades. We're going to talk about investing. I definitely see some cryptocurrencies, and some of them already have. Like, for example, I mentioned VeChain way back in November. The price, if I am not mistaken offhand, and I could really look at it right now. Which one of these do I want to replace? I guess I'll replace EOS. I'll look at VeChain, VET, USDT. And we're going to talk about the different ways that you can make money within those. And this is what I was talking about here. You can see even some of what I've mentioned. So I mentioned this back in November 2019. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Here we go. November of 2019. We can see it right here. So anytime within November, I was talking about, hey, VeChain is something that definitely can accumulate. And I gave a number, obviously not financial advice, but for my opinion. So if we're going to look anywhere within there, you could have gotten anywhere from 0.046 to 0.008. So let's take the halfway point, the in between, because it started pretty low, even over here. You could actually have gotten it lower. And I remember most of the time it was 0.05 something to 0.04. So most of the time I looked at it, it was within these days, beginning of November, and in October. I also mentioned it, but because of this video, I mentioned November. We're going to really, really give benefit of the doubt on what I talked about here. And let's just say it was 0.0065, okay? 0.0065. And at this current price, not even where the explosion went, we're going to measure this a little bit, non-leverage, because at that point it was no leverage. This is going to be 0.0067. And at that point, you have already gotten gains of 152%. And these are the people, hey, look, you're just investing. let's say you use 1,000 US dollars, 1,000 Australian dollars, maybe 10,000. At this point, you will have not only an extra whatever you put in, but you will have 50% extra, because I really moved around these numbers where it wasn't 0.0065, it was 0.00678, whatever. So at that point, it would be at least 150% increase. And all you had to do was buy. Obviously, timing is important. Being able to have the willpower to not sell, obviously not using money that you can't afford to lose. Another thing, maybe you panic sold right over here when it started to dump, or you tried to sell thinking it was going to go cheaper and just did not, even though it's slowly grinding up, you did not buy back in. Oh, look at Bitcoin, it's starting to pump. And so, yeah, like I said, 150%. So 100% means you got your initial investment is double, right? And then 50% means you got half of that as extra. So 150%. If it's 1,000, you got 1,500 extra. 10,000, you got $15,000 extra. So yeah, that's just all it is. And those are different strategies. So the trading aspect, you look at these points right here, and this is actually even a swing trade potentially. With this, a swing trade right over here, that you will have a stop loss at a reasonable level. You'd have certain targets and say, hey, you know what, this does this, it'll blast off. You look at it, hey, look, this looks like a BART pattern. If you flip this out upside down and you inverse it like that to see, oh, wait a minute, this could be like a BART pattern or and whatnot. So yeah, these are several things. This is the investing part where you will hold this, let's say, and now we're going to do the beginning of November, roughly. And for that, you'll be holding it 258 days. Not bad. Just to have that. So, and then you could have been accumulating this whole time. That's just assuming it was a one-time thing based on that average. But obviously, people that bought in November and the investor types, they would just buy. They see, oh, this is a dip. Oh, I'm buying. So they will have an even lower average, assuming that they did get in this really well and put in a sizable amount. And then, the payoff. The other thing that we're going to talk about are the savings plans, because Binance also offers a savings plan. Let me see if I can see that. So, although this isn't the savings plan, this is staking, but savings is similar to this. So you can look on the, actually, let's go to that now. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So yeah. So this is an account that I'm not using their savings on, but you can see the different rates. For example, these are locked savings. So that means you stay in. This is what you would make if you kept doing this over and over per the year. I think this actually went down. I thought this was higher or something like that when I looked at it earlier. But so you would lock in for 7 days. You will make the equivalent over that 7 days of 6.4% interest rate. What bank allows that? This is why the banks have recently allowed banks, or the government in the U.S. at least, has recently allowed banks to now custody your crypto assets, because they want that money. They know they're going to lose a grip on it because they're going to go to different exchanges and things like that. Even if Binance does whatever the regulations and whatever they say, that's still not JP Morgan Chase, is it? Unless they're forcing them to partner with them. It's still not Bank of America. So that's still somebody that's competing with them. So this is what we're looking at. What bank gives you a 6.4% interest rate? But this is locked in. This rate can and probably does change, and you will have to do over and over at seven days. And what happens if it fluctuates down to 3%? But still, what bank is it even giving you 1%, even at the best top rates? So 90 days, it's an 8% rate. Same thing here with, so these are supposedly pegged to the dollar. This is the Binance US dollar. This is US dollar Tether. They got a lot of controversy around this, but that's the most liquid of the one. This is a cryptocurrency. That's one too. This is Harmony. That has a lot of buzz and stuff around it. As you can see that this one is, you see how it did not highlight anymore? That's because it's blocked out. It does not have the ability for you then to actually take advantage of that. So right now, they only are offering that. They probably have the maximum amount of users. And what you do with savings, since this isn't a bank, and what banks do anyway, they do fractional reserve lending. So what a person does is, whether they save or not, actually, um, let's say that you put $1,000 in the bank, and I'll just keep using 1,000 because that's a at least something that you can get tangible off of. You put 1,000 in the bank, a regular checking account. What the bank does, it can multiply that magic money. Okay, the same thing with Federal Reserve. They've said it multiple times. Go on, look at Good Morning America or 60 Minutes or whatever it is. Federal Reserve says they make up money out of thin air on YouTube, DuckDuckGo instead of Google, whatever you want to do, and just try to search it and you will find it. And they said it themselves. They just press the digits on the screen. They said they used to just print, but now they just press a couple digits on the screen and poof, cash out of nowhere. So that's the same thing that banks do, except they have to have some kind of like regulation. Although the banks are also presumably board members of the Federal Reserve, so it's kind of like they get you both ways. So what they do is you put $1,000 there, they multiply that, and they get an extra 9,000. So now it's a total of 10, but they show you as 1,000. They lend out the other 9, or they have the ability to lend out the other 9, and I guess potentially your own. I don't want to say anything incorrect. And anybody, if I am incorrect on this information, definitely correct me in the comments below. And what they do is they can make a profit on it. They could do that while a person, like, let's say you put $1,000 in. I'm a person that needs a loan. I take a loan out, then I pay back with interest. You see the system, it's automatically like, how the heck can how can everybody pay off? It's impossible with that system, especially when the first dollar created from the Federal Reserve, a bank, a private bank, is a loan with interest rate. If it's a loan with interest rate, not just a loan, then you can never pay that back. And then when you go to a bank, another way to create new currency is to take out a loan. That means somebody is not paying it off, somebody is defaulting, somebody, so on and so forth. So that means, let's assume that I pay back with interest. If even the bank is charging me a 5% interest rate, they are still making 5% and you made 0. And in your savings account, obviously they still want to make money because they're going to then give you that bogus 0.0. I think the highest I saw was 0.03. I want to say 7. And I think that's being generous. So, or 0.03. That's 3%. No, not 3%. Oh yeah, this is of a percent. 0.037%. And I think maybe in some reality somewhere it might be 0.2%. So not even half a percent. Whereas these, you're getting that. But this let's look at the ones that you have flexible. That means you can take it out at any time. And what they do is, how they make this is that you are essentially giving them the ability to give out loans. There are people here that are taking loans. So they do have limits. They have a certain amount that you can put in, and it tells you the interest per thousand. So every time you have $1,000, you make 5.4 cents. So almost 5.5 cents, and so on and so forth. It tells you how much BTC you make per every 1,000 Bitcoin. Remember, this is interest per 1,000 Cardano, per 1,000 Atom, so on and so forth. And they have their own value that's worth in Bitcoin. Or if you try to peg it to the US dollar, you can see that. So these are different ways that you can make earn in crypto. And we're going to talk about that in what we would like to do in the Discord. So if you want to join us, it's only $60 a month. And in some ways, if we get enough people in there, I'm actually just going to lower the price for everybody and just solidify it there. But it's $60 a month. Once we get a certain amount in there, I just would like to be paid for the time and research that I'm also doing. Not financial advice. You still want to do your own research on this, but that's pretty much, hey, I like to be paid for that. I would like to give more value than what I'm charging, and then after a certain amount of time, I may even lower the price that everybody's paying. So I just decided, you know what, today I'm going to talk about these things. We have multiple sections in there. Here's staking, where we can make money just by holding cryptocurrencies. They tell you the interest rate. They tell you the last one. Cardano staking will be available soon. Let's go back to Loom, which was the first example because that was the highest one that I saw. So if we were to go here and check, it actually allows you now to deposit it. Some of them are not available, like I said. Um, so this is something that we can do. You can look at the history of how much the interest rate changes. So it says 10 to 12% annual yield, but on a day-to-day basis, it could be higher or lower. But they're thinking that this is estimated that the average will be 10 to 12%. So just think, if you're a long-term holder, let's just say you saw VeChain on this thing, the earlier example I saw. If you're a long-term holder of something like this, hold on just a sec. I can't even get off the screen now because if you're a long-term holder of these cryptocurrencies, then this is something that it logged me out. Oh, okay. I thought it logged me out for a second. Yeah. So if you're a long-term holder of these cryptocurrencies, why not even like for the investor part? A person could invest and give out a savings where they can, or stake or savings. Let's say that you're a long-term holder or investor in Cardano. If you get an extra 2.8% on top of, right? A 2.8%, and that's not even you buying anything extra, but you want to buy extra, right? And so on top of what you could potentially be buying and purchasing here, you also are getting that amount, right? So obviously, most people, it would seem that they would like to take some offer like that if they thought about it in that way, right? If they thought about it in that way. So there are different ways, like I said, that we can get up to here. And if you want to join the Discord where we talk about the trading aspect, the investing aspect, the safe ways that we can do it, because and there's also ways that what happens if Binance gets hacked, or another site that you use. We have Bitmax. They offer on their cryptocurrency. I've frequently seen 30 to 50+%, and it really fluctuates day to day. I mean, one day it's 32%, another day it could be 54%, but that's still extremely high. It's some of the highest I've seen there just by holding their cryptocurrency. So staking, that's different from savings, because savings, you're essentially lending, giving the platform Binance to make money off of being the middleman. So instead of you saying, "Hey, you know what, CTAI, um, we're going to loan you, let's say $10,000. We're going to loan it to you at a 10% interest rate," and I might say, "Okay, cool." Instead, what you're doing is you're going to quote unquote save it on Binance or another exchange, aka I've been telling people for the longest, these are basically banks. Any of these crypto exchanges are also banks, just not the traditional ones, where they can just print things out of thin air. So if you instead put that 10,000 of Bitcoin or whatever that is on Binance, I would then go to Binance and try to take out that loan. Let's say it's still the same 10%, although you would instead, as the middle person, safer for you. There's probably collateral I have to put up to take that out as a loan. They're probably loaning it out to me in margin or in other ways that when I'm trading, so that they have things locked in. It's very controllable, unlike a randomized loan where I could walk off and do something else and that will put them too at jeopardy. So obviously they would want to have a little more control and leeway with that. So you might just be paid the 1 to 3%, whereas they're making the difference between that and 10%, if you get what I'm saying. Or maybe they're only charging 5% interest rate every day, but the interest rate for you may fluctuate on the amount of people that are actually, for example, oh yeah, this is staking. But the rate for you may fluctuate based on the amount of people that are using margin trades or other leverage trade or whatever their products are to take out loans on that. And that's where the fluctuation may come from. So yeah, these are different ways to do it. If we're on the road to whale, not just the road to $1 million US or whatever that is, but the road to whale. So we're well, at this point, I would define whale for me, and I would like to create 25 whales for my group, and I would call that a pretty good success. No matter what else happens, I would like to create 25 whales. And whale to me, from my definition, at the current price of Bitcoin, anywhere under $15,000. If it goes above 15,000, then I have to change the number. But right now, below $15,000, whale is somewhere. Excuse me. Taking the equivalent of 10 Bitcoin. I mean, at $10,000 times those 10, I mean, you're looking at 100,000, but that's really low. But at 15,000, I did that on the old one. But if you would like to take, and I know that's not a true well is somewhere around in the millions. So they're probably pushing around 100 or so Bitcoin, 25 Bitcoin here easily, and can afford that. But I would like to have just a standpoint. So mini whale, how about this, or dolphin? If I can create some dolphins, say 10 Bitcoin with that, and then there's 25 dolphins and at least 5 whales, where these whales have the ability and have at least 50 Bitcoin. I would call myself a massive success with reaching either one of those, and I'd be very happy. So if you'd like to join in on that and join in on my journey to try to have people that reach that, then great. I can't force anybody to do anything. I would not force anybody to do anything. So it's just what people want to do. And here are limited supplies, as they say, where this actually gave 10% on Zilliqa over a 30-day. And so these are temporary ones. These just pop up and you can get these very quickly and then they end. This is a lot of them that ended. But yeah, so I'll catch you all on the next time. Go look at the description below if you would like to reach out and you want to join the Discord. $60 a month, really not too much. If you invite your friends and family, we can have a friends and family discount of 20% for anybody 3 or more people. Or actually, I'll even more than 20%. What I'm going to do is I'll knock off $20 for anybody that is I'm sorry, I'll knock off $10 for 3 to 5 people coming in as a group, and $20 with anybody that's 6 or and more. So if you like that, also check the description below. But my email is ctai@protonmail.com. And when you're ready to join and pay, I'll send an invoice. It'll automatically charge you every month. I know that in some countries, it's not going to be a way to actually pay directly. So then you just pay in a cryptocurrency, like whichever cryptocurrency we'll discuss. But yeah, definitely, I look forward to seeing you all. Let me know what you think about this video. If you want to see more content like this, if you want to support us, definitely I do take the support with the subscribe, the like button, the comments, and everything. Peace out until next time.